nothing noticed on screen. 100% good then, wow, what even is 0% good? Oh my, Bullboy is here. Got a second, and a strawberry cooking some Ganestale of Orlandis. I don't know what that is. Good morning and in between everyone. Confused me a bit about the in between there, but we got 2 people who redeemed the first. So now the amount the ball will jump. I got some kind of number here. Okay, sorry, I had to do a bunch of typing. Now where was I? Cole got coconut and dessert. Todd got force and avocado. Oh my, another avocado. Mia, oh look, it's a heartwood wheel. Wearing a leotard, I see. Have we seen Heartwood wear that leotard in stream at some point? In that case, I wanna see. Tiffany got a lemon and the first five. Nicely done. But too late, the pandas are coming up. What kind of quote is that? Yeah, I need to do some measurements, I think, because I'm not getting. I'm trying to figure out how up should the cubic actually jump. So that's 1 point so far. Good. Yellow Pepper Soda 0 points so far. Well, yeah, Todd, you were supposed to catch up to the second place, but you're not done such a great job, have you? I mean, I'm not trying to criticize you, but you know, if that is your goal, you kinda not doing so great at it, since you're kinda falling behind now. So let's have a quick look at you will. Yeah, Todd, it's not looking good for you. 20 streams ago, you got 16 points. You were quite active at that time. So you will, after this stream, lose 16. So you need to gather up 16 points this stream if you don't want to lose. You got 159. So every point you're away from 16 points, as in below it, you will drop in total points after this stream. Yellow Pepper Soda, who actually did not do anything last stream, by the way, so that would give you an opportunity to catch up. However, Yellow Pepper Soda will only lose 3 points. Since 20 streams ago, only a total of 3 points were gathered. So that means that you have to at least get it 13 points today to have the same difference between you and Yellow Pepper Soda. So, and the reason why this is happening is because Yellow Pepper Soda was quite active, like for about 1 week, over a week ago. Todd was very active, like a week. That is now 2 weeks ago. So Todd's high scoring streams are currently being, well, falling out of your total scoring. So for the upcoming streams, in order, Yellow Pepper Soda will lose this number of points: 3, 5, 0, 13, 11. Those are the big ones, but like 3, 5, and 0 are the upcoming 3 streams that will be dropped out. But if we go and look at what Todd's points are, 16, 4, that's a low one, but 20, and then 2, and 10. So Todd is going to lose a lot of points now. So I'm just giving you a heads up here, so you're not surprised why you like keep dropping behind. But that is why. That is why. Now I had explained that. Let's move on. Better off than down. That is true. I can top that easy. Good luck. I have insomnia. Oh no. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that you have to get second place. It's more like you want second place. So it's more of a, if you want it, you kind of have to do something about it, you know. Not saying that you have to do it. Tired, yeah. Hello, Never. Never has 1 point today. 9th. You can't go. You get a 1 point today. You're gonna go from 12th to 9th. That is a climb. That is because, more likely, because the 3 people you are passing are actually going to lose a lot of points. Because this stream they were on 20 streams ago, they had a lot of points and you didn't. Presumably. If you think it should track a longer period than 20 streams for like 30 streams, I could change it if you want. I can do that. If you think it should be a shorter period, like 10 streams, I can do that too. That would make the VIP slots shift much more often if I lower it to 10 streams. If I increase it to 30 streams, that will make them shift much slower. But the thing is with this slow shift is that when people are achieving and losing VIPs, that could happen like sometimes. Like I haven't seen this version in like 2 weeks. Yeah, because the only day they were active and got like 30 points on that day, and therefore got VIP was 20 streams ago, and now they lost it. So now they lost VIP. And if I increase it to 30 streams, it's just gonna maybe that would be better, because then if someone gets a lot of points for one stream and doesn't show up for a long time, they might get knocked out earlier because more people who are active here for more often. Just an idea. Diablo is just a slow. I just need to make the distance well, it doesn't speed up. I could just beat or sub. No, that doesn't give me activity points, you know. You see, Todd, you must sabotage their internet a week or two. Yeah, that way you will get ahead. That will work. Time to saute the vegetables here. Oh, not sure if I've done anything like that. Not vegetables, just fruit. It's all fruit. Oops, all fruit. Bonk, look. It's Sicilian. 20 streams the longest period. So yeah, I feel like that is a significant long period. It's not like too long, but it's also still at least a significantly long enough for like, yeah. If it works well, watch it. I'm not saying it. I mean, like, who says it works well? That's the thing. I'm just thinking like, no one's claiming. I mean, it works, but that doesn't mean it works well. So like, the benefit of increasing the number is that a person who has been here for every day 30 days in a row, or 30 streams in a row, because it's streams not days by the way, will therefore have more total points compared to someone who just have been here one day. So they have like more streams to compete with, like, if that makes sense. It increases. So that's a benefit. The drawback is that it moves much slower. But to be fair, if someone shows up here and starts gathering points, maybe they shouldn't get VIPs that quickly anyway, you know. So, I mean, it might be a valid idea to increase it to 30. But I mean, if people are not interested in that, I don't have to change it. It is okay. How much up every stream, even if I don't yap? That's gotta mean something. Yeah, you got VIP. So yeah, it does mean something. Oh, I'm white with pink details. Neat. Sorry for not acknowledging you. Nah. I don't think it's alright. Yeah. This Ganthale tastes really good. Don't eat it before the lentils are ready though. Yeah, keep save it. The original, that isn't true. Yeah, when I type Pon white, it's... There we go. Pon with some kind of weird infection. I'm considering getting AC for my floor, but there are shortages already. Huh? Shortages? Apple gum bun, yeah. You should inverse the pink and white. That might look nice. Could Pon with some kind of infection. No, that's a code now. Okay, if I measure here, it has moved at an amount of that. But if I measure here, wait, can I measure that? Yes, I can measure here. It has moved at a perspective of at a ratio of that. So if I were to measure these two, I'm doing some mathematics in the background, and then I measure the other one. Okay, should I make sure I got the right number? Keep typing it wrong. There we go, I got the number wrong. I got the number correct, let's say. Huge difference. I wonder if it jumps at like an 80% of a block in what I'm using as a reference here. So I want my thing to jump up for 30 updates and fall down for 30 updates. Maybe I should jump faster. I think, well, I could have it jump up for 35 updates and fall down for 35 updates. It might be better. So doing that, when you start jumping, it should have an initial velocity up, and as the jump progresses upwards, this velocity needs to decrease until it immerses. So there needs to be, so when you jump, there's an accelerator, it's an acceleration, and then it is the acceleration that is being lowered. Wait, how do I do this? I guess I have the position and then I have a speed value, and it's the speed value that decreases at a fixed acceleration. That is how it works because of gravity. So let's start by just guessing numbers. I want to get close to 80%. So let's go to this player script. So I have some values here like move speed. So I create a jump speed. This is the jump speed Y, let's call it that. Jump speed is basically the speed it travels upwards, and then we'll apply that during the jump. Yeah, okay. Shortage of AC machines to buy, deliver on. Oh yeah, those make sense that during the warm climate. Oh my, panties, jumping for the panties. It is a very cute emote. She has cute panties. Anyway, so yeah, it does make sense that during the heat season people are buying them instead of before, because it's hard to know that's going to be warm. But at least when after you get one, you have one. Does Pon have cute panties? Of course. I'm always wearing cute panties. I think the panties I'm wearing in real life are very cute. Yeah, it's for you, Todd. I'm adding that as a quote. So if I just leave this value as this. No! These are cute panties, so don't look. Let's create a variable that will hold the height, jump height. This one is just for mesh. This is just a testing variable, which will not actually be used in game. Banana kitty stuff. Stop it. Almost thought it was Pikachu. Yeah, I wouldn't use copyrighted content on my stream like that. That's the name. No, it isn't, because Pikachu is a rat mouse thing, and I'm wearing cat pants. So you cannot call it that. That would be incorrect, and I will arrest you. Okay, so if you hold the button the jump button. There is a jump forward, but I will start with a regular jump for now. So it first checks oh my so it first checks if jumping is going on. Jumping is going on. Jumping is happening. Such a bad comment. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, but still. Oh, okay, now it's a more appropriate size. Bless poo. Sorry, Caps. Lose it, yeah. So, well, if jumping is happening, let's change the state. We create a new state that is jump up and jump forward. Now, of course, someone might like, wouldn't jumping backwards be an option? Yes, but jumping backwards is jumping forwards. It's just the camera doesn't look where you're going. In case someone is curious how I made this, is because I have a rotation for which way the ball is facing, and then I have a second variable which is which way the ball is moving. So technically, so when you press the back button, all it does is rotates the way you're moving 180 degrees from where you're looking, and it just runs the exact same code, just with the camera the wrong way around. Which is basic. As far as the code is aware, you're going forward, you just the camera looks the other way. But for the players, you're reversing. So that's just works. 341 coupons to spend. You can type coupons as well. Because points are kind of ambiguous. I'm not sure why I went with that first. When jumping straight up. But what if I want to be jumping gay up? When jumping forward or a block. No, points. I mean, if you want to call it points, go ahead. They already substitute for channel points anyway, so. So, pressing the jump button will put you into the jumping phase. There we go, jumping, and then we put change state to player state, jump up. So now with that set, let's go down to where we check where we do it. So the first part is what inputs do the player does during the standstill phase, and if it's no longer a standstill phase, we check what the player state is. So during the jump up phase, we simply take the position of the player and add okay, we need the current jump speed. We have the jump speed y. We need the jump speed y, and then we need the jump speed. And jump speed y is not a constant. And then we have we need two constants. One is jump speed start, so like initial, and then jump speed y is acceleration, but it's this acceleration or retardation or gravity. Might be. Let's call it gravity. So, That's good, but what about jumping chaos? I'm glad you like that, anyway. Okay, that was funny. I'm glad to be funny. Okay, jump demi up. Demi up. Jump bisexually up. That's right, I changed sexuality again. Oh, good news. I mean, it's not about change. You don't change your sexuality. You more like discover what your sexuality is. Does that make sense? Okay, I have a jump height here, which is the total height the ball will jump. This is just also I can set it a constant, it can't be a constant. And so I will jump height steps. So as long as it's moving upwards, these two variables will be changed. And this is just for measuring stuff. So, and this is an integer, so it's not a float zero. Okay, now. So when it enters this one, so let's go here, change state. So if the state is, the annoying part is that I want to be able to press forward after the jump has begun, but that is another thing I have to deal with later. My girlfriend has a new sauna. Whoa, she's a flying fox. And you're a grounded fox. Because you did something naughty. Yeah, it's just another bat type, but it's because I also have a new one. A bat-eared fox. You know what? That sounds interesting. Do you have pictures of these saunas? Or are these just ideas for so far? No drawings made. 35 minutes until it's already. Ooh, lentils. 35 minutes until the lentils are ready. Or even sending me food pictures. You silly people making fun of me anyway. Okay. Let's jump height steps to jump height is 0, jump height steps 0. We'll start by resetting those values. Jump height y is therefore set to the jump speed initial. And then we go here and here. What do we do first? Move it or change the value of it? It would make sense to move it first, wouldn't it? And also transform position. I do need to. Okay, jump height is that, and this one is just +1. So it needs to go absolute down. Okay, I need an absolute up, I guess, just to have an opposite of absolute down. These are the inputs. Can minimize those. There we go. Rotation, measurable position, absolute forward, absolute down. Let's have an absolute up. Orientation, distance, return, transform position, up. So because it's an absolute down and it's just not a down, absolute up. Orientation, distance. Jump speed y. And then after that, we lower the jump speed, body jump speed, gravity. Now, when doing the jump, the ball will jump upwards and then will fall down through the platform. But let's not care about that for now. What I need to do is during the jumping, it needs to check for blocks, so it can collide with a block. We made them to celebrate our 5-year anniversary. Ooh. Yeah. I wish to celebrate my anniversary. It's ideas she's drawing. Ooh, she's an artist. I'd love to see it. At quote, you silly people making fun of my underwear. Yep, that's what you do. So if I move up here... Huh? Why can't you all of a sudden rotate over an edge? I don't get an error either, you just can't go over the edge all of a sudden. Sorry, you can't go over the edges. Oh, that's weird. Did I jump up forward, go over the edge? Why is go over the edge not working? Forward is working. And it's not like... Huh? It must be changed state I messed up. Oh yeah. Here. Yep, it was something I messed up. There we go, now it's fixed. It's sweet too. Loving the panties I see. I do love panties too. Anyway, now we can go over edges. But more importantly, I was going to check here. You have the jump button here, space, Z, L. No weird buttons to jump in, I guess. So we can press this button. Whee! That was very fast. I haven't seen a ball jump that fast. So I definitely need to... How high did it jump? Oh yeah, right. So I need to make sure that it only applies these values while jump speed is above. So if jump speed is larger or equal to 0, well, let's say larger than 0, that's when these values are applied, because otherwise it will start subtracting from values and kind of defeating the purpose of having the jump height. Okay, the gravity is way too strong, so let's make it very small. But as I said, I can change these values. Well, it doesn't really help change these values because it still can't collide with anything, so I still have to restart the game. But just let's see if this is more reasonable. Let's get these values immediately. So here we go. So if I go, whoa. Okay, now the gravity is way too small. Wee. So this... Oh, it's remove the value. Okay, let's try that again. So I press... I select the object. This one. I press the jump button. And it jumps up. And it falls down. And I can pause it. So, here, jump height. This one should be... less than 1. It's 31 here. So yeah, I guess I can't change these values. Guess I have to restart it. It's living after midnight. I knew it wasn't Judas Priest now. This is disturbed. Isn't that disturbing? Oh, I use a funny pun. It does 51 steps of jumping. How many steps did I want? I wonder if there's a way for me to calculate this. There we go. I wanted it to be 70 steps, I think I said. So the initial jump speed is just too high. Okay, let's say for the sake of argument, let's do it very simple, because the starting position of the ball is 1. So let's do this silly. So if it's in jump position SC, and if transform position Y is smaller or equal to -1, set the transform position to 1, and then I can't do that, I guess. New vector 3, I guess. Transform position. And this one should be 1. -1, it should be just +1. Yes, +1, not -1. Obviously this is not how it's going to look. And then change state to player state standstill. That means that after I've done my jump, I can jump again. And apparently these can't be const if I want to change them, so let's do that. So I can change the initial gravity and like figure out the values I need. So basically I need a jump height of about 80%. So it's a 0.8. And the number of steps in the up motion should be 35. Bonk, 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 bonk. This is a bit too short. Yes, no jumps for 11 step and jump height is barely anything. So if we increase this one, now it jumps too high instead. But it still jumps for too few steps. So gravity needs to be lower. Okay, this is good. I need this one to say 35. Yeah, Judas Priest living after midnight. 25. Oh, this is almost good. But almost something that works. 34. Slightly above 80. I mean, this is pretty good. If I increase in this one. The original versions are always a tough act to follow. Well, yeah. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Those bounce broke on my side, apparently. Which is weird because you are subscribed, so you should have access to them. Dun, 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 dun. This needs to be. I feel like I'm already testing these values. Oh, this is pretty good. Down, 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 down. I think I'm wrong window. I think this works. Obviously, it does not work against any other. If I jump here, it will fall down through it because it's not properly programmed yet. I feel like this is. It jumps for 35 steps, which is what I needed to do. It jumps at a height that is slightly higher than I want it to be, but it's pretty good. The technical, this isn't even the original version. The recording was only possible after hours of rehearsals. The actual original likely was never recorded. I'm not sure if you would even, count that as the original, because it was just, they didn't attempt. They were just rehearsing. They weren't attempting to play the song. If that makes sense and as an explanation. Obviously they were rehearsing the song, but I guess they would be attempt. No, I was thinking the wrong thing. I was thinking practicing the song. You were talking about actually they getting together and just practice playing through the whole song together. Yeah, I guess that would be the very, very, very first. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Okay, I got all the values I want. Okay, you will be able to jump from an angle like this too. But let's just make sure that things here are correct. Minutes until land is already. Ooh. Okay, so when falling, there should be like a max fall speed because I don't want the ball to just fall faster and faster. So what if we take the const wait, you should const before the date. There we go. And then we have like jump speed max or fall speed or max fall. I don't know what to call it. And then we check here. And then we do like this one is jump speed y minus this, but then we do max because we do want the maximum of this. Math and then this one should be capital M. There. That means that it will take the larger value out of the jump speed y that is being lowered all the time, and by the jump speed gravity to the yeah. Really another piece of Gantiale. We're not gonna take. Wait, which artist band is that? Now, what we have to do is, after updating the position, we need to physics. No, we don't need to do that because we don't care about the ball's position. Twisted Sister. Have I not added Twisted Sister yet? I mean, I might have some songs, but I mean, like, I wish that. No, I still haven't. It's on the list. Still on the list. So. What we need to is check. I want a rock. Do you want a rock? Here. We do check if sphere check and the position is mesh ball position. That's the position we're checking. Wait, why does that one not work? Please remember orientation. I need orientation. And then collider point size. Now we need orb size. So let's create. We do have a collider point size. So we're taking also a collider ball size. What is the ball size? The ball size is, I don't remember. Let's have a check. I wanna walk. I want a cock, as in the male bird, of course. Todd wouldn't refer to anything else than that. I wanna calculate some things. I want a sock. What are you going to do with sock? No, don't answer that actually. It's the diameter, right? So it's 45, so I should have the half of that, right? So its size is 45, so I should have that. The diameter of the ball, right? Because this is the radius, yes. So I should just type in the radius, not the diameter. Yes, and then finish that off. And here it is, if it collides with something. Voxel needs success, if you say so. Good. Storage of fox in the box is wearing socks. Yeah, look at that. Might have some ads soon. So I wonder if I can do this. So what we're going to do next If it collides with something, it needs to do something. It needs to check. Check sphere. And now we're checking up. How do we check that? Point up. I don't have a point up, I have a point down. Okay, let's create a point up. Because I create a point down here. And I will create a point up. And this is the absolute up. Boom. Now I have a point that says up. So we check point up. And we use this the usual collider point size. And collides with this. Well, this can only really happen if the jumps. So let's check if jump speed is larger or equal to 0, and it does this. Then that means that the jump speed is good. Set to 0, and I'll check set there. Else, if I probably should check first. We haven't met, so let me quickly go and get some water. Okay, I'll do this. I'll do it properly this time. Yes, jump down, now. Come on, fall down. No, fall down. I just want you to fall down. Please. No, I don't want to fall down. Run, pun. Okay. How many times have I died here? Oh. Yeah, at least this is slow compared to... Oh. Okay, you know what? You... Oh no, another one's coming. Ow! Okay, get out of here. Oh no, I don't have any more bazookas. Oh, this is going to be so hard. It says pun. Yep, okay, let's just restart. I'm not going to continue.
Pon.
Yes?
Is Metalhead interesting enough to go to?
Yes, it is actually interesting.
Okay, let's head to Metalhead.
There we go.
Is that why it's interesting?
No, I think you failed the trigger.
Oh, never mind, we got it.
Yeah, I guess there's a timeout on it.
Beautiful.
It is interesting. You're going to see, this is an interesting one. Wait. It's in here, aren't they? Okay, I will burn down this whole place then. How can't you burn this thing? What is the consistency with things you can burn and not burn? Okay, sadly I can't burn down the whole place.
Because it's literally the apex of a ball.
I like balls.
Nice.
Nice, I guess, one time.
Well, what am I supposed to say, huh?
I don't know.
Okay, next time you mention it, I say, I don't know.
I like balls.
I don't know.
Okay, now. So let's see now. What's the head codes? Do not confuse nub with a different similar sounding body part, which one might have, but I don't feel like trying that. Do not acknowledge it. No, no. Well, Todd, here's the thing. You keep acknowledging my panties, and I don't want you to acknowledge that. So you see, I will keep acknowledging your knob as long as you keep acknowledging my panties. Although, to be fair, I actually don't mind you acknowledging my panties. The only issue I have is you looking at my panties. Quote, sadly, I can't burn down the whole place. Quote, frills are nice, especially on panties. 29 nice quotes, isn't that funny? I need 40 more nice quotes. Yay, put them on his back. If the fall speed is less than or equal to 0, and I will check down and there's something there, jump speed should also be 0. However, it should land on top of it though, so it needs to do I set the collider correctly here? No, I set it here. Okay. No problem. So I just have to set this one. And then and I should actually do okay, let's do this. We'll get the cube in question, and then we get the position, I think. No, I have to transform position. And then we will set, oh yeah, we need to set, because we should only, because when you land on the block, on the cube. Hi, relaxing. I made some lentils already. Ooh. Well, I'm not showing my nub without a nub routine. I don't want to see you nub anyway, so it's okay. You're the one who keeps talking about it. If you don't want me to acknowledge your nub, stop talking about your nub. That's the way it is. So, I should probably have some kind of function place ball on cube or something where it takes the rotation as a variable, or it needs the cube in question as well. Let's take the cube. Does it only really need the position of the cube? So it needs the position of the cube. My memory is small, more reasonable, and the orientation of the cube. Oh, that song. Because you can only wait. If cube count is larger than 0, then this will happen, because there's a reason for this. Because the ball will jump high enough that it can collide with the block above by design. If that block were to be a block that suddenly appears or disappears in some way, it could be moving, it could just appear from nothing. There will be different blocks like that. If you were to jump up when it isn't there and then appears there, that will cause a collision. Therefore, I'm making another collision to check. Okay, well, we're making this collision as you're falling down. It shouldn't like land on top of it. Does that make sense? So you will continue to fall down, or maybe at that point, if it appears, it just pushes you down. Crystal castles slow the river. What? What are you searching for? Crystal castles is apparently some low-res electronic noise and pop thing. Canadian electronic band. Well, I'm familiar with that. Yeah, there's no song that is called that. That would be crazy. Do they have a song called Slow Reverb or something? Or are you looking for a completely different song? Because this is what I can find. They have a few songs. I mean, I can add Crystal Castles to the list of songs to add, I guess. My ever expanding list that I'm not adding songs to, because I'm trying to make a game here this way. So I have an excuse for not doing what I need to do. So the place ball on cue basically needs to determine first off what is down. So then where do I place this one? Zoom free and remove free camera, change face, rotate ball mesh. Maybe here. Public void. Place ball on cube, so we get vector 3 cube position, and I will take int input orientation. So wait, suffocation is the song you're looking for. Okay. I can make a note of that's the more specific song you're looking for. So I can like still add like the top songs, but I can also specifically add that song as well. Lentils are ready. Woo! Whoa, food. Do you work in any gaming company? Nope. Do you know any gaming company that needs a bunny working for them? So this code will run because the ball is currently going to be placed on the top side of this object. We know which side is the top side thanks to the input orientation. So what we need like Rockstar, Ubisoft, there's many. Those are big gaming companies. I wouldn't be able to get into those. But if you know like a small company that is looking for a worker, preferred one that's local to my place, that would be more reasonable. So what kind of function could I use for this? Move towards by arc, move towards by arc percentage, which is a nice one. Get steps by move, get steps to move by arc, get steps to move towards. Those are weird names. For the remap might work. Because with the remap I can unmap it as this. So in this given moment, I get the player position remap. So I take the vector 3x, which is my extended functions, go to remap, and then I insert transform position like that. Why is this not working? Oh yeah, and this is the vector 3. Keep messing up on the. Oh, it needs the orientation, of course. Of course, you can't remap without the orientation. But this is inverse remap. So let's create the inverse remap. Remap inverse. Which is no problem at all, because all I do need to create is a new function up here, which I call public static int orientation invert int orientation. And then I just do a simple case here. Where 0 is 5, 1 is 3, 2 is 4, 3 is 1, 4 is 2, 5 is 0, and if it's a invalid input, it gives 0. So all it does now for the inverse, it just runs the remap. It's a return remap where it inserts the vector, and then it runs math orientation invert and inserts the orientation there, and that's it. Thank you for following Cook as TM. So thank you for following. And this is the same, but remap X, Y, Z like that. So going back here, there's the remap inverse. Because we're doing inverse remap, we should be able to do the regular remap to remap it back. quote. That's another quote for the Chugbox quote function. For function quotes. There's one company that make codes the games. The company name is That Game Company. Yeah, but I assume they're not like in my location. Yeah, they're located in United States, so that would not really be an opportunity for me to work for that company. They only work with people from the United States and apparently Canada too. So I cannot even apply to that work, so that would not be a good suggestion. I don't want to be rude or anything, but you know. Can't do much about that. And then I take the Q position and I do the exact same thing. I take the Q position and I apply it to the Q position remap. Now the Y should be upwards. So now I can do what I need to do. By the player position, where do you learn coding? By myself, as well as going to school for coding. I started off by coding on my own. I started off with block programming and then with using GameMaker, which is currently owned by Yo-Yo Studio, I think, or something like that. I started probably with like GameMaker 6 or something back then. Or was it even 5? I don't know if GameMaker Studio was like version 12. But now they're at GameMaker Studio 2. But yeah, so I started with block programming in that. But then moved over towards using the coding scripts that they had. So I still used the block codes whenever possible, when I didn't know how to program in text. But then I tried to use as much text coding as possible. But then I took an education in which I've now done for C++ was the programming and stuff. I haven't done any professional like game education though. That's amazing. Yeah, you can learn a lot on your own. And then I got help from so I had to like get going in Unity, and now I'm doing that. How did you remember which code write for specific thing in game? That's why you add comments and also make good names for things. Bonk. And when you write the code yourself and know exactly what everything does, things are getting easier to like keep track of everything. But yeah, so sure, I went through this and I was thinking like, which function should I use to actually, like, yeah, let's just remap everything because I have the remap function, but I need to inverse it. So I made an inverse version of it. So what I need is, because I could just do this. This is very simple. The player position is going to be new vector 3, which is the player position X. The cube position Y plus one block up. And then the player position Z. And then the player position now is going to be now I need the vector 3x remap, where I take the player position remap, which has been remapped, and I'll need to remap it back. So I inverse remap it. So I should probably call this remap inverse. It's like inverse. The name is getting long now, but I could call this cube position map remap inverse. Now it's like obvious. What is more obvious as the cancel ad comments. But the problem with this is that I want the player's X and Y Z positions in these situations to be to shift towards the center point of the block only if you're close enough, because it would do like an auto correction. But let's ignore that for now, because if it's slightly off, we can just do that correction for you when you're jumping and landing again, because that would probably not be too noticeable. So oh yeah, after you land, it should reset your back to standstill. This one. So after you make a jump, you should land and be at standstill. So where do we have this? Turning, jump up here, this. And place ball on cube and go back to standstill. Let's try it now. Can you make games like GTA? I mean, I'm making this game at the moment. I will make more advanced games, but then I will probably have to work with people. Bonk, bonk. See, look, now you can jump. But the big question is, okay, and you should be able to jump on top of these as well. Huh. Well, this is clearly not working as it should. Huh. Oh, how did that happen? That's interesting. So, jump. Freaky. Okay, the remapping is clearly not working. Works fine here. But here it just shifts position. It's kind of like a teleporter. Which of course means that this works fine. Interesting. Wait, does everything work fine? Everything seems to work fine. It's specifically this zero side. You know what? I understand why. Because it always struggles with shit. Yeah, everything works fine. Even the underside works fine. Except there. Yeah. It is a remap thing that messes it up. I would assume that remapping it and inversing it would fix it, but apparently not. I would assume it's the remap that is messing up. Jump, jump, jump. In gaming, coding is learning is different like games you... This is a sentence. In gaming, coding is learning is different like games you make, and coders who makes games like GTA games in study. Could you try that sentence again in English? There's a subreddit for that. Those are certainly all words. Which means that those are all words, but the arrangement of those words doesn't really make sense to me. There's probably a few words or something missing, or a few words that are wrong. It just messes up with my brain, so I can't determine what is going on there. So the inverse and uninversing here is not working. So let's ignore it. Let's not inverse it and uninverse it. And I'll go back here, and then I have the remap inverse. Let's just delete it because the code clearly doesn't work. And I'd rather not have codes that doesn't work. Having the orientation invert, I guess isn't a bad idea, but let's not. Yes, let's just remove it anyway. Like, is study subjects are different in game coding, like basic games you make and advanced games like other coders make. Do you all have to study all the same, or is it different? Oh, you mean like that? I mean, it's still the same thing. It's just that the bigger the game is, the more things can interact with each other. There's just more things to do. The more actions you want to be able, your characters to be able to do, the more code you have to make. Bonk. Like in GTA, you have so many things that can interact. Like just your player character can, like, just, well, stand still, walk and run. And then you can, like, use weapons, and there are multiple. I mean, there's a lot of weapons that are the same because it's just point and shoot. But some of them do require a bit of different behavior. Like if you have a gun or a grenade, those are very different from each other. But if it's like a semi-automatic, fully automatic, or not, that doesn't really change coding wise, and like rate of speed and stuff doesn't really change anything. But then you also have animations that come with that, but then you can also like use vehicles, and then you have to also consider that different vehicles behave differently, and then you can go into places, and then you can, yeah, there's a lot. So it's not about like what the things are you're making. It's more like the quantity of the things you're making, as well as the amount of things that interact with each other. Plus, the people that make GTA is a huge team. I'm a single person, so that's also very different. So coders have to study like you do, even if they're making basic game or make games like GTA. Studies the same. It's not different. Well, it also depends on what you want to do. Like, everyone has to start from the basics. But if you want to make a game where you are a character that can move around freely, that's different, especially if you can move around freely in 3D space, or move around in 2D space. Or in my case, I'm just moving around on the blocks in three dimensions, all the 6 possible orientations. Or if you have like a, which is block based, you move between blocks. Or you make even a ball game where you always have the gravity down. Maybe certain cases where you want to shift the gravity, but it's fully physics based. These are like, then you have to deal with different functions, and you have to learn different things, but there are still a lot of overlap. But the thing I'm doing here with taking consideration with how the camera should arc around things to, as you go around an edge, wouldn't be too much different from making a cinematic camera that arcs, but the way I've implemented it's certainly very different. But I have to deal with like how the camera has to be different orientations depending on which orientation you are in, which you wouldn't have to take into consideration when you're making a game like GTA, because the gravity is always down. That doesn't suddenly change. But they certainly, I mean, I'm not saying that's very complicated, it's certainly not complicated for them to do, but it's not something they would have to do. I mean, I guess you can fly like a jet plane, fighter jet, which could turn upside down. I guess there's that, but that would be more like locking the camera to the vehicle. But anyway, they are dealing with so many more complex things that I haven't even thought about. So just a thing like this. I want the ball to land on the cube, but I have to consider the ball can land on all 6 sides of the cube. So if it was only on one side, this would be pretty easy. Am I making this more complicated than it needs to be? Yes, but it's not too much more complicated. So let's do the following. I can use the orientation to determine, because I can't simply do switch orientation. I mean, let's I usually call it orientation. It doesn't really matter. And it could possibly avoid me doing other mistakes. Because there's already a value that's called orientation. That is the actual orientation of the ball currently. So if I didn't have this, and then just call it X, and then decide that this is 5 here when it runs, that will actually change the ball's orientation. But if I call this orientation here, this one will no longer affect the ball's orientation, instead have the input's orientation. Which is a good thing, because then I cannot accidentally change the ball's orientation unless I literally type this orientation 5. Now it will actually change the ball's orientation, because no longer pointing this one. This one says play script orientation. This one says parameter orientation. Yeah. So typing that. So I could just make a switch like this. Then I can just say player is a return. It's player's transform. Like this. And I think you can type return void or something like that. Yes. Wait, you can't do return void? Since return void, return keyword must not be followed by any object expression. Okay, so you just type return, you don't even type the word void. Okay. Okay then. I did play. No, that wasn't it. They all have to learn the basics, but later on they might specialize. That's why in game credits you'll see teams who design the camera and controls, and other teams focus on animation, other teams who focus on the code that makes the game run, etc. Yeah, there will be an overlap between programmers, but programmers certainly have specialities in certain aspects they are good at. And while someone else might be able to do a fairly okay camera system, another person might just be making a really good camera system, and they rather want that person to make a really good camera system so they can make a really good camera system because they want to make a really good game. So let's start with these. I should make, okay, this one, let's just do like that. So I want a function. Actually, I should probably create a function here. Now that I think about it. A new function that I call, what should I call it? It's going, It's going to be a function that is it's going to be a function that returns a vector 3. So public static vector 3. This function will take 3 values as input. No, wait. How was that thing in it? Paradoxic Mouse. Good morning, Budman. Hello. Welcome. No, Def Leppard. Still haven't done it. So I want to specify stand. I want to specify okay, I have an idea. Reposition on location. Reposition on surface. So how about that? It takes a vector 3, which is the origin, and then we take a vector 3, which is the target, and then we have margin. This is a float margin, and then we have orientation. I think that's all I want. And then instead of this thing here, we copy it over here. So, and what we do is take I want float x. And then I create a new function because I have not created enough functions, which is a public state static float shift if close. I don't know. Pick second value. I want a function because the function name should be descriptive, but it should but it shouldn't be like overly detailed. Like use second position if first position is close. Like this is like overkill of a function name. But basically shift if within margin. Let's call it that. So we got float origin, float target, float margin. It's very floaty. And then we check if origin is smaller than target plus margin. And origin is larger than target minus margin, which basically means the target plus the margin on both sides is the origin point within this. Then we return the target. Otherwise, we return the origin. So the origin should get the origin point until it's within this range. Then you get the target point and then. There you go. That's a useful function, I think. So this is a mathx function. So we take origin x, target x, and a margin. So this will set x to this. And then we basically do the same with y and z, except I will not do that with the y. I'm just doing it here for I can copy it over to the other or well, I could. No, I would say I mean I could just do this as an initial step here, which would save on code but not performance. So that's a question of what's more important. And then we just, instead of transform position, we... Oh, wait. Yeah, delete these. And then this one will say, oh yeah, this is what's equal like this. This one will say return. There. Just say as an error unreachable code because it doesn't return before that return, so it can't reach it. Hi Pon, hello Vex. What is it? Why are you crying? Also Vex, I didn't know you had joined my server, so I did eventually approve of you getting into my server, by the way, so you have access to it. You didn't let me know, or if you did, I missed the message completely, so you have access now. By the way, so have fun. You got an apple. Coach is 17,090% key. What's more quote functioning it? Because of course Pon is not wearing panties for the function but for the cuteness. That's what it says. I'm wearing panties for the cuteness, not for the function of it. But I mean made some good tasting looking food. I assume it's good tasting. Okay, so we're going to ignore what the players in y is. So it's y is up, we take y, x is up, so we take x, z, x, z, y. Yeah, the one thing I was thinking of was a float margin into orientation, and then we should probably have like float distance, I think. So it's y plus distance, and this is positive, so we add. This is positive, so we add. This is negative, so we subtract. This is negative, so we subtract, and this is negative, so we subtract. And this case should never happen, so, but it's just as a fallback, so the game doesn't crash. And then instead of this function, we just run a new function. Vector 3x to vector 3x, a reposition on surface. So we take transform position, we take the cube's position, the margin of error. What margin should we have? Move speed. Collider point size. Wait, didn't I have? I wonder if I should... I wonder if this is too large of a... Let's... I guess we can test it. So I insert that. Orientation is orientation. And distance is 1 flat. Because it's 1 cube. So hopefully this works. We'll see. It's worth a test. That was an unfortunate pause when reading that quote. Because of course Spotify is not very bad, it's for the function but for the cuteness. Yeah, I was struggling reading that quote. This is why, like, someone could shorten that quote, but I wouldn't allow that. But that was the mess up the board function. Everyone needs a mess up the board function test function. So now you can... No! Don't do that. The question is... Who is this? White cat. Why did you do this? Now, if I do shift the ball over... That is significant amount. If I now jump... Huh. Or is it because it's... Huh? It doesn't actually correct that. Interesting. Oh, you know why? Wait, no way. Because it never does it. It never does the... There we go. It never does the correction. Basically, the offset should be small enough that it should be insignificant. So if I jump now, it's fine. But if I shift it over like that much, then jump. There we go, that corrects it. It's a bit of a large correction. So I could probably do a correction of that. That's probably as small of a correction I can do to keep it like not noticeable, but still kind of like useful gameplay wise. It's a really tiny correction, really. Now let's see if it actually works on any surface. Because that's what matters. Then I need some sounds, you know, when you're jumping. But yeah, this works. Even here it works. Works here, works here, works here. And you got the preview here. It draws a line for where the ball has traversed. It also got the lines for the camera. Could hide the lines for the camera, so we can focus on the board's lines. So yeah, so we can see that it is working, and the lines do fade out over time as well. Oh, moved way too far. And then it starts erasing the lines. The lines stay for 35 seconds, which is a significant long time. But as we can see, it works on every surface and there's no problem. The ball can jump. Oh yeah, you can't jump forward. There's no option to jump forward. So you can only jump upwards. So if you hold down the button, the ball will start jumping in place. Because jumping has priority. But it will not have priority after I implemented the jumping forward function. But it works so far. This is the first step into making jumping works. Because forward is just velocity forward. Add quote, the ball can jump, which to be fair isn't really normal for a ball to do. But it is pretty epic. Okay. Good. I should... How does this one change? Whatever. Layer jump straight up, implemented global script new functions. Yes, we're not the script on that one. Let's do that. Nice, nice. So the one thing I want to test though is what if we place a cube, so it should be on the 0 plane, and it should be, okay, let's see here. It should be -2 +2 -2 +2, and I want addition 2 steps up in here. Oh, I don't have to type a literal plus. There we go. There we go. Now it's a bit dark because of the extra blocks here. Okay, yeah, so it doesn't erase this cube here. Because it will go into it. Quite a significant amount too. Bonk, bonk. So that has to be fixed. That's the next thing. I want to be able to collide with something. So we'll go back to the code that is jump up. It says say that it should set the jump speed to 0, but I'm not sure if that works. So let's it's not messing up this code. Why does it always start today's? So this one will point up. Let's check if something is in the way. Although it only points straight up, so if it's like blocks slightly off. Now the blocks will be in the grid, so that only affects blocks that are moving. So it's a very specific and rare situations. I think it's fine. Although if it's moving down towards you though. Although it only runs this when it hits the... Okay, no, that's fine. It only runs it when it actually hits it. So if I let this code be exactly the same, it says place the ball on the cube, meaning that if I collide it from the below, it should place it on top of it, which would be weird, but we can at least see if it works. Which is what we're actually... I made breakfast. Oh, a bacon, maple bacon omelette. Interesting. Huh. It does not trigger it. Well, that's a bit concerning. It does clearly intersect it, doesn't it? Yeah, that's clearly intersecting it. So, how does it not... Because this one should check if any collision happens. You know what? I know why. Because it should not have point up, it should just have a point. Which is just player's position. So let's actually remove that. And then we do transform position. That should work because it checks one square too high. But that's let me get some water because I'm getting warm.
Wasn't prepared for it, I guess.
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough, wasn't prepared for it.
Yeah, I wanted to catch you off guard.
Apparently so.
There we go. That's how I do it. That's what I wanted to do. Oh, no, don't get stuck like this. There we go. No! Drink some growth potions, then you can be big enough. But if I'm huge, then everyone will look up my dress.
Good.
Bad. You earned a new fairy gem. Get 2 more to increase your fury. Not fairy. I want a fairy gem. A fury gem. Increase your fury level. Yeah, that would be. I want a fairy gem.
When are you gonna add some squat redeems for us?
Squat redeems. Whenever I decide to be a femboy and I want my femboy thighs.
Coachy, do you have a squat redeem?
No.
Shit.
Sounds like Water wants you to have one.
I'll get to it for you, Wada.
So,
A pon gathering.
Pon meetup. No, it's with that I'm going to try to be more engaged in like Pon. I'm still eating breakfast. Would you like an omelette with your bacon? Yeah, that's a bit a lot of bacon. Adds every no, this is the 1 minute left of that. Quote, I want a furry jam. Such a good old quote. The water laugh. Yeah, we got a click from water stream. I didn't even was a guest on that stream, but I thought it was fair to have it as a clip. But actually was on the stream. Did Coach ever add a squat redeem? Nope. Not building up those fanboy hips. Outline pink. Yes. Baba Canis was wearing a pink dress. Hope he got good use of it. He did not, yeah. Someone should demand it exist. Fanboy thighs. Oh, thighs, not hips. Fanboy thighs. Okay, now it should work. Yeah. Other than that, you're going to have this win of fate where you whoop. But it works. So now to actually make it behave correctly. So if I so it says place ball on cube. How about ball hit cube? Is that a good term? So we need a position of the cube. And the Rotation. Maybe in this case, because not placing it on top of the cube. Because on top of the cube is the only place where it can be placed. Maybe in this case I should specify more exactly what's going on here. So in this case, thick thighs, save lies, thin thighs, take lies. Wait, what? That's why you bend her to the knee and not to the waist. Yeah, you got it. Lift with the knees. Yeah, bring in your nieces and have them lift your stuff. That's a good way to save your back. So, I could have ball hit cube, but in how many ways can you hit a cube? I think you can hit this from. I have place ball on cube because you're landing on top of it, and then you can hit the ball a cube from below, and then you can hit it from the side. As far as I know, there's no other way. Correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I know, there's no other ways you can hit a cube. You can hit it on the top side, you're landing on it. You can hit it on the bottom side, you start falling down, and you can hit it from the side, which bounces you off when you fall down. So I could have this as 3 separate functions. I only got one, so I make one hit from the below and so ball hit cube below. So we get which cube it is, the position of it, and the orientation we're going at. So we go here, public, void. This song is also using the word city, by the way. And I did pronounce it as city, because that's how it's said in the song, which is different from the English word city. I mean, it means the same thing. Well, technically, I mean, the Swedish word city, which is from English, word city, means more like the inner city. Makes sense. Kind of like how the Swedish word nice, which is taken from the English word nice, has a meaning that is more towards being cool and amazing, but like not to like but not to the same degree. So if you were to say that your grandma is nice, using the word nice in English has a different meaning from when you use it in Swedish. So anyway, so the ball's position here would take the cubes. Okay, we do not mate. We might take the player's position and make a new vector here. Overtake X, then, and this one we take the cube's position, Y, but then we subtract it We don't subtract it. With the height of the ball, right? I do have a collider ball size. Shouldn't I change this to 2 different terms? We'll have ball radius. Yes. And then we have ball diameter, which is twice the value. And then go back here. What is your name in this one? Ball radius. And then here it's minus ball diameter. There we go. And in case 5 it's plus 8. And this one, we instead of here, we go back to transform position Y. But this one is instead, because now here it is X. That's 1 and 3, so that's 1 is plus. And 2 is the same idea. Transform position X. Oops, I need a period there. But here we take the cube position Z minus, and this one plus. This should hopefully work. Okay. Quotes, but Pon, you're even cuddlier in your underwear. What do you mean? Oh, you're not wrong. I'm not wrong. Rock and roll all night. Detroit's Rock City. Is Rock and roll all night a Kiss song? Haven't not added Kiss? Didn't I add Kiss for you? Just had to make sure. Okay, check here. Rock and roll all night. Ah, that's why. Boom, there we go, because they didn't want to spell nights the normal way. Because, you know, I still haven't implemented a new search function. I keep saying I should, but I still haven't added the alias for this one anyway. Night, let's spell it the normal way as an alias. So you can find it that way. Okay, should we test if this thing works? Because I think this code should work. There's no, oh, there's an error code. Is this one? Yeah, this function cannot return anything. So if it's 0, it just doesn't do anything. Seems reasonable. But I mean, if it's not kind of the valid orientation, it doesn't do anything. There we go. Flame keys. Dunk, 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 dunk. Look at this, it is working! Now you can hit your hands on the cube above. And this should work in all orientations. Amazing. Now you can slam the ball on the underside of a cube. Riveting gameplay. I wanna cock and balls all night. Of course you want that, Todd. You're all for that. Is your... No, you can't hit your head on the cube above. Good quote. Looking for those panties? Or not looking for, she already sees those panties. She's trying to get them. And panties every day. Todd, you say that you have a girlfriend. Is your girlfriend a trans woman? or something. It's curious. If that's too private to answer, you don't have to answer that, but don't. No. Well, missed opportunity. Could have a girlfriend with cock and balls. But I guess you're not getting that then. So yeah, so if you shift in here, it clips through it. But I'll just how it works. Everything here, it clips through it, but just how it has to be. Yeah, you can jump in place, and you can also do this. Perfect. The only thing that doesn't work is jumping forward, but that's the next thing to implement. Now I need to see where I traverse. Look at all the little lines. We should be able to see that if I... Maybe I should go to main one here. the height the ball bounces, bonk and bonk, we can see a clear difference in height of those two. Let's get the ball out of here. If you're not obstructed, you can jump higher than if you're obstructed. This line is in the center of the ball. That code, of course you want that, so it's your rule for that. It doesn't even say anything in the codes. She is a tomboy though. Well, fair enough. My girlfriend did find out I cry when picked. Well, that's interesting. Anyway, moving on from that. Best part is no one will know what that refers to. Yeah, exactly. There we go. Now I've implemented layer jump collide with top. Let's push that change as well. So now I should have jump forward. Because I got jump up, so I want to jump forward. I'm going to ignore what you wrote there, Todd, because you are typing a bit too... getting a bit too detailed there. Okay, jumping straight up, jumping forward. So jump forward. Jump forward wouldn't be jump backwards if... But I have... Actually, I don't have a jump backwards button. There's only jump forward button. But I guess that's fine. I mean, I could implement one, I guess. Egg. We do like eggs. I don't know, what's the connection between eggs and heartwood? I mean, I guess there's a trans egg. Very stretchy egg. I don't think that's edible. There's a lot of food connected with heartwood. Also interesting name, heartwood. Because there's love when you have a wood. Anyway, let's do a jump forward. No, jump forward. There we go. So let's go to stage change over here. if the state is jump up or jump forward, doesn't matter. It will do a bunch of different same thing, such as it will still do the jump upwards. So that's still going to be the same. Heartwood is a fox. Oh, is that the case? I would really consider this species, but that makes sense. I'd quote because there's love when you have wood. Yes. Quote, it was a mistake to mess with me. Quote, it was noising at me. It's like, not too big of a difference. Do you like that it says, I don't think anyone has commented on that really. Do you like it that it says which time of day it was quoted? Or should I remove that? Those times of days are even correct for the oldest streams when it didn't even have time on the screen. So, what did Pon do then? Well, time of day, yes, okay, good. So what did Pon do to figure out what time of day she said the thing in those old VODs which didn't even have time on the screen? Well, this is the crazy Pon. I got VOD, and then I put 2 timers on screen. And then I checked when someone sent a message, preferably someone who hasn't written many messages, because if Urimi writes a message, it's basically impossible because Urimi has written like a million messages. But if it's someone who hasn't been on my stream much at all, I can just bring up the message history for that user, because even if the VOD is 3 years old, the message, even if a message is 3 years old, it's still stored on their servers. I wonder how much data I could save by just deleting that. But it's still useful for me. So then I go back, so I just check this user, I check when the message was sent. Twitch unfortunately only gives me the hour and minutes, but that means that when I see the message show up on the VOD, I can therefore set the minimum maximum time on these 2 timers. That's why I have 2 timers. So it's the start of the minute or just at the end of the minute. So basically the start of the next minute. And then they might send another message, but usually people send multiple messages in a stream. What a surprise. And then when I send the next message, where I can again check what the time and date or hour and minute it is according to Twitch, I can now adjust one of these 2 timers that will be either the timer will be too far into the next minute, or the other timer is in the minute beforehand, and then I can just set one of those so it's this correct minute. And this will, for each message sent, possibly narrowing it down to which minute it is. But it just has to be narrow enough that I can confirm which minute I set a quote in. And there we go. Is it too much effort? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So when you jump forward, I need the ball to move forward, which I have the forward code here. Because I still have these, right? Why doesn't it highlight them? Oh, there we go. So what I would like to do is to remove that check. And I want to see these values again. Because I want to see how many steps does the whole jumping process go. Because that is how far forward the ball should move. Because the ball needs to move. The jump forward needs to be 2 units. But since the jump... There you go. Whoop. That's all I need to do. So, it takes 70 steps to do the jump. So the distance jumping forward through a scene. So I got the move speed. So then, therefore, I have jump speed forward, or I should say jump speed Z. Well, this will be 2 units divided by 70. And that is a number. Quote, I need to make more art of panties just to get that percentage up. I've done that. I love my food. That is good. It is good that you love your food. Okay. Let's go to the float calculator. And let's type in this number. And this is the actual value I get. So I can put this here. Whoop, this is a crazy number, but this is the exact number. So I'll take this, go back to the code that says jump forward. This is jump up, this is jump forward. Also, I don't need these nesting variables anymore. Unless I want to change it, but I don't see why I would. I like how it moves currently. Yeah, that means that those shouldn't be there either. Go up wall, go over there, jump forward. Move forward, jump forward, here it is. It will jump forward for 70 steps. And then it will stop moving forward because it's a puzzle game. Doesn't make sense. So move forward those 70 steps and then it'll stop. I could make it because if I haven't checked that out in that game I'm using as a reference, but I assume I'm not really sure how I would test this. Yeah, it's kind of obvious. It doesn't look too obvious when you're playing the game, but yeah, it moves forward as far as I could tell at a linear speed until it reaches the point it shouldn't reach, and then it just stops moving forward. Now the problem is picking 70 as my number is, of course, well, I get this number. So I might want to change the number actually after I deleted those variables. So let's reconsider. Where's the oh. So it's 2 divided by that number. Does any of these give me a nice number? No. Well, in that case, it's like 80, but that's way too slow. Or 50, but that's way too fast. It's interesting that there's no good. The 64. I think 64 might be the best one. Because that is a binary value too. So maybe I try to make, because it would make the jump faster. So the question if I should do it. In the reference game it takes 580 milliseconds. In my game it takes 583 milliseconds. Now if I change it to 64 it will take 533 milliseconds, which is 47 milliseconds faster. It is 47 milliseconds, so like, is there something people would notice, like, going a bit fast? So yeah, so this is like 70. The omelette flavored bacon. Yeah. Bacon with some omelette to it. 16 points. Gosh, I'm not doing this sexually provocative, so I'm still saying I'm innocent, so seconded innocent. Yeah, I am innocent. Baking Amy Doggy. 100,000 million bajillion % innocent. Oh my. I didn't know you could be that innocent. So if I just make the gravity slightly higher. Okay, I kinda need to save the real values. Oh. Let's go back here. And if jump speed is larger than 0, let's have that only affect the jump height, because I want to see what the height is, because it can't start lowering the value again. There we go. Now if I press the button, boom, I get this number, which is a neat number. Which is close to what I want. Now, if I now increase the gravity slightly, it does not reach closest to as far as I need it. So I need the okay, I don't need to change the max fall. But I need to lower the number. There, 64. But now the ball doesn't jump as high as I need it. Of course, as I increase this value, there we go, that's 64, that's pretty good. Because it's saying now the whole full jump is 64 steps. It jumps at a height that is very close to 80%. Still very close to the previous. It's slightly lower than the previous one, but that doesn't matter. So we'll go with those values. So let's remove these. So what are the numbers again? 47. I should put it at max full speed. That can be adjusted as need. And then one is higher like that. That means that the distance the ball has to travel by our update is this. It will move quite fast forward. It will move 25% faster forward when you jump than rolling. Which means that if you want to complete a level faster, you should just constantly jump. Which I'm not a big fan of. But like, wait, I'm just thinking for myself. I don't see why I should change that though. Like I could make it jump slower. How slow would it need to jump for? It needs to do 80 frames. I mean, I could technically make it that. The benefit is that benefit of that is that you're moving at the same speed. It doesn't feel like the ball is just speeding across the levels. I mean, there is a benefit of doing it like that. And then so absolute up plus forward. That is vector 3 forward, which takes the it's capital life forward. What? No, vector 3x forward. For is it vector 3x? Is it it's a mathematics? What is going on? No. It's just called forward. That's what's going on. Forward vector 3. Maybe I should change that. Rotation, moving, orientation. Now it cannot collide when you move jumping forward. But let's just do it as a test. Flashy. What was... I guess that was a disappear button. Yeah, I think jump forward was set to that button. Yes. Something weird happened. So that's a person disappears. What is going on here? Oh, I forgot to define the distance. Jump speed that explains it. And also I have the input forward here. That's when you do jump forward as your input. These values should be set. The motion is forward. Just to make sure that it has the values correctly set. Cause yeah. Yay, it works. Look at that curve. But of course, the lentils are gone now. You ate all of them. Can I like start the game and not stop again? So I need jump speed, steps said, I guess. Although this one should be set to 25 because I decided for that. That's where I will break from the original game. I've made a bunch of changes that doesn't match up. Let's set steps to 0. And then it should be jump forward, and it should be if jump steps is less than 64. No, it should be 80 now. Then transform position is the 4 like that. Let's return it. Absolute forward, which is text rotation moving, orientation, as well as jump speed set. For some reason I can't press up to reach the bottom of the list. I have to scroll to the bottom of it manually. Be back in a bit if you're still on, we'll see, because I do need to make food. Let's take a shower now. Okay, if you can take a shower, I might be gone. Hi, Bon, hello, the best ink. Hello. There we go. I should make the... Let's remove these blocks for now. Let's extend all the arms. There. So I can actually jump forward and still be on the level. There we go. And then whew, still moves like that. Oh, because I never add to it. There we go. There we go. Do. I should set the start position here. There. Now I got straight down. And that's how it works in a game. Might look weird, but that's how it works. Now the tricky part is I want the jumps now to be 80 steps. That's going to be tricky. Because I need to change this value so I get 80 here. I only get 60 now, by the way. That's interesting. I didn't change anything, it should be 64. And jump height is too low. Okay. That's interesting. Don't. Okay, let's... Yeah, I probably have to make a calculator where I can just say that I want to achieve this height across these number of steps. What should the initial velocity and gravitational pull be? Now we give 70. Wait, it should give 70. Now we guess the correct jump height. No, we should give 64. It's because Unity messes with me. Because I need to reset this every time. Reset. Or I could lock one of these to not be reset. Oh, let's minimize this one. Big stuff out here. There you go, now it's 60. Don't know why. That's 64. The jump height is not correct. There. Why didn't I get those correct? But the jump height is the same. If the jump height is the same for jumping or not, doesn't matter. So this one should be 64. The other one should be 80. I want the same. So I guess the gravity needs to be lower and significantly lower. That's too low. That's the limit. Oh, that's such a huge difference. Oh, yeah, that's so close. Down. Do. Right. Yeah, probably have to figure out the calculator for this. There are some mathematical formulas for this. Do. Do. That's too low instead. There's such a huge difference. Do. I guess that will do for now. It's not what I'm looking for, but it's close. So let's stop these. Now the tricky part will be to define the values, because I got the initial jump speed max fall and the gravity. But then I need jump forward, which are going to have different values. We'll see how it looks. Otherwise, I'm just the way I don't like doing it. So jump forward. Instead of it's jump speed y, it jumps forward. No, it's still a jump speed y. I will have to split this up then. You can jump up and jump forward. Well, I would assume people jump forward more than they would jump up, so let's try to jump forward. Still need this one. Jump up. Those are jump forward. Initial speed. And then absolute forward jump speed set. Jump forward speed gravity. And then it jumps max fall. That's the same. So of course, it still cannot collide. But this is an initial test. Obviously, this arc looks weird. But yeah. So move the player back. I chose to stop the game, by the way. So let's.
Well, here's the sleep shop's answer.
Allow it to collide. Let's just collide downwards. No upwards collisions. For now. Yeah. So that now you should be able to jump forward and land on the ground. But jumping forward means that you can also jump into the side of a block. So let's see. That works. Pretty cool. Yeah, so you can, yeah. Yeah, that works. That's not how it's supposed to work. You obviously should, or if you jump forward, you will obviously collide with the thing, but yeah, I don't think that's how it's supposed to work. Some ball. We can jump down from here. Oh. Where did I? Oh, there we go. I did it on the other side. Yeah. And this is correct. If you jump from here, you will land 2 blocks in. Even though this arc doesn't make sense, that's just how the game works. So that means that oops. Excellent, jumped off the level. Goodbye, ball. It was nice knowing you. Alright, it works. It works. That means that you should, ignoring the lack of certain collisions, which I haven't implemented yet, but will eventually. Oh yeah, because I commented out those things. That means that you should be able to do this level. I took this level as example level. If you know the original game, you might recognize this level. Yeah, the ball should probably rotate while jumping as well. It's very floaty, isn't it? But you can navigate so level. That's pretty cool. Kind of a blind jump there. And it also needs to make so that you can there we go. Spend less than 5 seconds on this. There we go. Now we can see the line being traced where I traveled. Comes kind of like a replay. Kind of fascinating seeing these lines. But yeah, cool. It is working. So before the ads are playing, should we read out? Because I need to make food. It's a bit early, but it takes time to make food. And I made some good progress. And also it's been 3 hours, so it's also been 3 hours. Player jump forward logic. Most of the logic is completed. Anyway, but how long does Pon stream for until she's hungry? I'm kinda hungry. Yep, I am kinda hungry. So let's read out the Twitch page. So look at that. The schedule is old, but the schedule is basically the same. So this week is the week with the race on Friday. So I hope I'll see you people there for the race on Friday. It's going to be really fun. I hope it's going to be fun. I'm going to have a good time. I hope the other people are having a good time there too. Because it would have been awkward otherwise if they didn't. You know, they come in there and not having a good time. Not a good time. Okay, so shall we take the opportunity to raid? I don't know. We'll just raid Elysiums. We haven't been there in like a half a year now, so I got to raid there because I got to raid and take care of certain things on my own. That I need to take care of. So let's just go and say hello. I will use this one. And then, yeah, that's it. I really don't have much more to say. Anything else going on you would like to share? Share. Elysiums is playing The Legends of the Twilight Princess, which is probably a game I should play sometimes just to make Orimian happy. He would enjoy me struggling through those games. He would be there for moral support. Yes, I don't have any more out there, so let's just do a quick early raid out then.